So let's go ahead and move into our next topic here, which is agent experience.
Are you tired of worrying how many people on the internet have access to your sensitive data? Wondering if someone's buying your dream car with your financial information? Regretting attaching that really embarrassing photo of you during your goth phase? Sure, Greg thought it was hilarious, but it's not like everyone in the world needs to see it. If those are things you worry about, well, your customers do too. But now, you don't have to. Try protecting your customers' sensitive data with redaction. Now, agents can easily redact your credit card numbers, passwords, social security number, and more from your communications. A couple of clicks is all it takes to keep your sensitive info out of the wrong hands. Mistaken or humiliating attachments are gone for good thanks to Zendesk's use of redaction. Security in a snap.
All right, the next section we are going to talk about here is agent experience. And we may have given a little bit away with what we're launching during that cheesy little infomercial that we just played, but Cheryl Neoh here is here from our product marketing team to expand on this release a little bit more. Thank you so much for jumping on with us today, Cheryl.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Hey, so Cheryl, we have some great updates coming to the Agent Workspace, but I do just want to step back and use this as an opportunity to remind businesses out there and people listening what our Agent Workspace is all about. So could you just start there and talk about some of the high-level value of the Zendesk Agent Workspace, and then we can dive into some of the new features.
Absolutely. So from our benchmark study, what we found is that 75% of agents are actually using at least 2 or more channels. So think about how hard and how challenging that is for an agent already, right? They're switching between different systems, they're tab switching, so a lot of tools that they have to use. And so what Agent Workspace does is unify all of the tools and context that they need into one single workspace. So no more swiveling, just a more streamlined way where agents can work and live and do their day-to-day.
Great. A little bit earlier, we talked about messaging. I really like the conversational approach to our Agent Workspace and how agents have that threaded conversation with customers that just feels real and natural. So, Cheryl, what is new with the Agent Workspace and the agent experience overall?
Glad you asked. Well, as folks probably saw from the little preview, what we have new this quarter is an exciting thing called redaction. And so, fun fact here, did you know that agents on average on a weekly basis rely on Zendesk to redact 3.5 million times? So that is a lot of sensitive information if you think about how that applies to anytime you're sharing credit cards or social security numbers or addresses or passwords even. Oftentimes when folks are calling in for customer support, they're sharing a lot of this very sensitive information. And so what redaction does is natively, and it's only available natively in Agent Workspace, so redaction allows agents to remove all the sensitive information so that it isn't stored in the system. What this means is that customers can sleep safe at night knowing that their information is secure, and companies can also remain compliant with things like GDPR and regulations such as CCPA, for example. This is especially useful for use cases where agents are dealing with order management, billing. So you can also think about how this applies and extends to industries like finance, healthcare, a lot of sensitive information out there, and we want to keep our customers protected.
Cheryl, I know that we have a short video prepared to show everybody what redaction looks like. Why don't we go ahead and roll that so everybody can get a sense of how easy it is to use redaction.
Let's do that.
With Zendesk, agents can now redact sensitive information natively in the Agent Workspace. They can protect sensitive customer information without hindering their productivity or deleting the whole ticket, which harms the CX record. Let's say I'm an agent at HomeBuy, a furniture e-commerce brand. And I just received a ticket from a customer by the name of Joanne Smith. Joanne requests a refund for an order which wasn't delivered. She goes the extra mile and sends over her credit card number and attaches a photo of it as well. She then requests that I delete this information once I take care of the refund. After checking on Joanne's last package, I am issuing a refund. I also want to remove the sensitive information she shared at her request, and so HomeBuy remains compliant. So I am going to use the new redaction capabilities that are now natively available in Agent Workspace. To do that, I hover with my mouse to the ellipsis menu, the options menu here, directly in the Agent Workspace. I now here click on this new option to redact. I select the credit card number and mark it for redaction. I then hover to the photo she attached and I mark it for redaction as well. When I am done, I am ready to click on the redact button. Voila! The credit card number has been covered by black boxes and the attachment was redacted as well. I now can go ahead and let the customer know that the refund should be in within several days. I can also update them that the sensitive information has been safely removed from the ticket. HomeBuy has Joanne covered. As you can see, while I redacted the sensitive customer information, I did not harm the CX record in any way. By using redaction, I help HomeBuy maintain compliance and adhere to different regulations while safeguarding the customer's information. And the great thing is that using redaction did not get in the way of my workflow as an agent. The process took me just a few clicks and was intuitive, easy, and readily accessible directly in the conversation. And now I can submit this ticket as solved.
Well, Cheryl, that was a solid explainer. I think that it's incredibly easy to use. You effectively just copy the information that you want redacted, and boom, it's gone. In the traditional Zendesk sense, we took something that is fairly complicated and made it really easy for agents. And as you mentioned, this is a huge area. 3.5 million conversations you mentioned, or pieces of information? That's a lot. And so for businesses to be able to do this quickly and just have it be a native functionality as part of Zendesk, the business could bake into their agent workflows, big win for businesses that need to stay compliant. I think that wraps up everything on the agent experience side. Cheryl, before we let you go, just because we have you, is there anything that you want to hint at that folks should be excited about next quarter or releases on the roadmap that are upcoming?
Absolutely. So sneak peek here, Q3 is going to be a really big one for agent experience, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Just to give you a little hint, we're introducing a small but important UI change to the agent workspace, where we're introducing a new element called the context panel. And what that does is streamline all the context that an agent would typically need to resolve a ticket and bring that all within that one home screen of the agent workspace. So we're doing things like pulling native knowledge natively into the agent workspace, so agents can tap into content from help center articles, community posts, etc., and have that surface so that they can then pull that content and use it in their responses if they want. And we're looking to extend that to something similar for site conversations, custom objects, etc. Also want to tease a little bit of some ML that we will be introducing as well in the form of intelligent suggested macros. So stay tuned for Q3. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a big one.
All right, well, let's not give too much away, but those all sound like very exciting things. It sounds like you'll be back with us next quarter with more exciting things to talk about. Cheryl, thanks so much for jumping on. It was great talking with you.
Thanks so much for having me, Andrew. Catch you next time.